Here in Ingolstadt, Germany, is where Victor Frankenstein created this creature, the demon, the abomination. This is the birthplace of Frankenstein's monster.
Such were my reflections during the first 2 or 3 days of my residence at Ingolstadt. Unable to endure the aspect of the being I had created, I rushed out of the room. I thought I saw Elizabeth, in the bloom of health, walking in the streets of Ingolstadt, as the church of Ingolstadt, its white steeple and clock, which indicated the 6th hour, pacing them with quick steps, as if I sought to avoid the wretch whom I feared every turning of the street would present to my view.
Studied medicine in this building. Mary Shelley wrote her novel in 1860. She was in Switzerland on a holiday with her Percy.
We're going there.
And at the end of the year, they had a competition with some colleagues because they had bad weather. And the volcano Tambora in Indonesia had broken out, and the weather in Europe was influenced.
No summer.
And sitting in Geneva when it is raining is not so ideal, and they had the idea to make a little competition. This was the origin of the idea, 1816, and it lasted a while, and in 1818 it was published. The novel was published. And for this time it was very bombastic story, of course. And people were very interested in anatomy. It was a fascinating subject to talk about and to see the objects and so on.
The new science at the time.
A little horrifying and so on. In the upper floor, there was a room where bodies were dissected. It was not easy to get dead bodies, because it was not allowed to take a dead body from anybody to dissect it. They took them from cemeteries, and everybody shut his eyes because it was known that people did it. Same with Leonardo da Vinci. Inside today is the German Museum of the History of Medicine. There are a lot of exhibits of former centuries, some of them very cruel. You see the equipment which was used to make amputations, the saws, instrument. It's not for everybody's stomach.
Yeah, it's pretty grim stuff.
But what
this group's pretty hardy.
Mary Shelley.
Yeah.
Here's the park where William was strangled by the monster. In 2017, they erected this statue.
Hideous monster! Let me go! My papa is a syndic. He is Monsieur Frankenstein. Frankenstein! You belong then to my enemy, to him towards whom I have sworn eternal revenge. You shall be my first victim.
Here's Villa Diodati, where in the summer of 1816 Mary and Percy Shelley, Lord Byron, John Polidori, and Claire Claremont had their famous ghost story contest.
God, dude. How come you didn't bring a drone?
After everything that happened in Geneva, Victor Frankenstein made his way from Switzerland to the village of Chamonix in France.
At length, I arrived at the village of Chamonix, and I remained at the window watching the pallid lightnings that played above Mont Blanc, and listening to the rushing of the Arve, which pursued its noisy way beneath.
Here's the glacier, Mont Blanc, where Victor Frankenstein and the creature met up. And the creature gave his tale of going from Ingolstadt and ending up here.
For some time I sat upon the rock that overlooks the sea of ice. A mist covered both that and the surrounding mountains. Presently a breeze dissipated the cloud, and I descended upon the glacier, and above it rose Mont Blanc, in awful majesty. I suddenly beheld the figure of a man, at some distance, advancing towards me. I perceived, as the shape came nearer, sight tremendous and abhorred, that it was the wretch whom I had created. "Devil!" I exclaimed, "do you dare approach me? I entreat you to hear me before you give vent to your hatred on my devoted head. Listen to my tale. When you have heard that, abandon or commiserate me, as you shall judge that I deserve."
Here's the Chateau de Chillon, which Lord Byron and company had visited in 1816. It led Byron to write the poem The Prisoner of Chillon. Here's a plaque in the dungeon basement commemorating Lord Byron being here in the famous summer of 1816. Burg Frankenstein, aka Castle Frankenstein, was built in 1250. Mary Shelley had visited this castle, and it's believed that not only the name Frankenstein came from this castle, but also that one of the castle's inhabitants, alchemist Johann Dippel, was the model for the character Victor Frankenstein. In October, Burg Frankenstein has a Halloween attraction similar to Universal Horror Nights.
Take a spot. You're going to meet us at 10 o'clock. We get separated. Okay. Oh, like you're gonna leave that glass there, right? Come for the sea.
Monster.
Schau einfach mein Dad!
Der ist schon
Hey, I remember you, that's where I too.
Das ist gar nicht witzig.
Alter, was war das denn?
Also Uwe ist vor uns. Ja, wann winkt es auf? Achso. Das ist Uwe, meinst du? Ja.
Schätzelein, wo willst du denn hin?
Ja, der Ding ist was dran. Parkplatz könnte ich schon noch mit der Navi.